have a story about maybe one of your clients in Vancouver who wanted to invest internationally and really what they invested in, where they invested, and how you connected them?
Yes, I mean, I have a few. I have lots of clients that are looking to move around. And I think before it wasn't really an option. I think before people didn't really even think about investing internationally because they weren't sure how to do that. They didn't know how to start that process. And that's kind of when I got into it. I purchased myself and I used a Engel Völkers advisor and purchased in the US. And it was such a scary process to start buying real estate in a place that you're not familiar with, in a market that you're not familiar with. And so I used his guidance and was able to put everything that I knew and everything that I wanted to accomplish with my purchase into a market that I was confident with, but also having the guidance of someone who's been selling there for 20 years. And that was the experience that I was trying to teach my clients and show them that we can do. But before that, I wanted to go through it myself. There was a lot that went on with that purchase and a lot that I had learned, but the one piece that was perfect and the one piece that I would go back and do 7 times over was using Bob as a private office advisor because he was fantastic. He knows the market, he knows the purchase, he can help me. And that's kind of where everything started. I want to own properties in all of my favorite countries around the world. And that is because I have moved around a lot. My parents have moved around a lot. All of my family is scattered around Europe. I travel all the time for work and for pleasure. And I wanted to make sure that I could offer this experience to clients. But differently from other brokerages, I didn't want to just pick up the phone and say, hey, I have a referral for you. I wanted to say, hi, I have Emilio, who I know will give you the best service, who treats his clients like gold and would treat you exactly like I would in my market. Or, hey, I have Emiliano in Venice, or I have Karen in Paris, or I have someone in London, or it's just Magnus in Miami. Like I know these people. I can pick up the phone and talk to them, and their friends and their advisors and they're people that we learn from and they're people that we connect with. And it's just a different level of service and it's a different trust.
Real estate agents, they're transactional, right? They're in, they're out, they're gone. But, I would imagine that you, like I do, and like everybody else I know in the network, you keep in touch with your clients, right?
Yeah. All the time. All the time. Most of my clients become friends, to be honest.
Yeah.
And most of my clients, they move around. It's funny when I start a transaction with someone and we sit down and they're like, I want to buy a home and I'm going to stay in there for 5 to 10 years. And then within a year and a half, they're calling me being like, but how about this investment? Or how do we climb the real estate ladder? Or what about that property that you bought in the US? Or how about a villa in Spain? Or what are people investing in? And so we just plan from there. And that's what I love. It is about the relationship and it's not about the sale. It's about that feeling of coming home and being happy in that home at the end of the day. I moved around a lot. I've lived in the tiniest of apartments in London. I've lived in villas with my family on the Amalfi Coast. I lived in hotels. I lived in condos in Vancouver downtown, in high rises. I lived in the suburbs. I've lived everywhere. But that feeling of coming home at the end of the night and being happy and feeling safe and having a home that you can just decompress in, that's the feeling that I love. And that's kind of what I chase with trying to help clients is it's not about the transaction. I want people to be happy in their space and think of us. They think of us when they go home and they love their home, and they would think of us if they go home and they hate their home. So I want to be a part of the good memories.
What is the best advice that you would give me? Let's just say I want to purchase internationally, right? And I go to you, I want to purchase in an international marketplace. I'm not exactly sure. I want to make sure it's warm. I want to have a great time, a place that is, where it's going to appreciate, where it's only going to get better, in your opinion. What advice would you give that person? What's the best advice you give them?
I think it's just understanding, honestly, what it is that they're looking for. Because when people come to us and say, I want to invest, I'm thinking about buying internationally, what are the reasons for that? Is it a holiday home? Are you going to be investing somewhere that you love spending time with, and so then it's more emotional of a purchase? Are you never going to be going there? Is it just an investment property, so then it has to cash flow? It needs to be a location that's safe. It has to be a place where maybe you can set up a property management company. It needs to be a place where you don't get screwed with taxes. It really does depend on what you're looking for. Are you planning on keeping it for 50 years? Or are you planning on keeping it for 2 years? Are you going to be hit with insane capital gains taxes? And then when you bring your money back to Canada or the US, are you going to lose part of that? Is the title attached to the land, or when you go and sell it, is it like the wild, wild west where there are places like that too? So I think it's really just understanding what a client's wanting and what's the end goal. And then I like to work backwards from there, but trusting the people and making sure that you do your research and understanding that what they're actually saying is accurate is going to go a long way for also saving you lots of money and headaches and making sure that your purchase is special versus a nightmare.